Hey guys, it's Sherry, aka the Real Share Bear, coming at you with my week 14 post vertical sleeve gastrectomy or VSG surgery update. I had my VSG surgery in Tijuana, Mexico on April 17th, 2014, and this is July 24th, Thursday, 2014. I'm coming at you. My high weight was 353 pounds. Day of surgery, I was 333. Last week, I came to you at 277 pounds after an 8-pound loss last week. That was crazy loss. This week, I come to you at 274 for a 3-pound loss. So, I guess I'm not surprised I didn't have a huge loss this week after losing 8 pounds last week. But my weight's just kind of been stuck for several days, up a little, down a little, up a little, down a little, and so it's a little frustrating, but I'm glad to be down those 3 pounds for this week. My eating has stayed just about the same. I've forgotten to mention the last few videos. I keep my FitnessPal set on 1,000 calories a day, and that's kind of where I try to stay. I've heard some people talking lately about calorie ranges, and I know a lot of people 3 months out have a lower calorie range than I do. Around 800 is probably more common. But I seem to be losing weight pretty steadily at this rate, so I think I'm going to keep it at that. I talked to the bariatric coordinator at work about what they recommend for their patients that are about as far out as I am, and she said 1,000 to 1,100 calories a day. And like I say, my weight loss is very satisfactory right now, and so I think I'm just going to stay with that. Exercise this week, I got out and tried a couple of new things I had mentioned wanting to try in a video. I did a total body class, which was a strength training type class. We used an exercise ball and did push-ups and sit-ups and squats with that, and then we worked with weights, and then they also did the sliding mats that you get down on the floor. That was the one exercise I kind of wussed out on. They had you in a push-up stance and wanted your toes on the sliding mats, and then they wanted you to alternate legs of sliding those mats in and out while you held yourself in a push-up stance. I couldn't quite manage that, but I just kind of modified it and did the best I could with it. And then I also did a Zumba class, which that stuff is no joke either. Of course, there were a lot of skinny minis up front just rocking that samba and all those moves, and coordination wise it was a little bit hard for me to keep up with, and I could not really see the teacher, so that was a little bit of a challenge. It was fun, and I will try it again. I may try it at a different location and see if, you know, maybe I was in an advanced Zumba class. I don't know, but it was fun to try something new, and some other things that I can add into my routine to keep it interesting as I go along. And then between that, I did my regular elliptical training, and I'm doing arm weights to try to combat some of this arm flab. I did want to talk this week a little bit about loose skin. When I've been in the fitting room lately, I noticed I've got shrinkles going on my inner thighs. Not cute, looking a little bit like a Shar-Pei puppy in a headlock between my thighs. But you know what? I'd take shrinkles over morbid obesity any day, and everything that goes along with it. So, but sagging skin I'm starting to notice because The fat has moved out of my thighs and arms to a large extent, so it's definitely going to be something that I have to deal with in the future. But for right now, I'm just going to keep focused on what I'm doing. I'm going through a tunnel. It may turn dark on you. And not let the shrinkles hold me back. We did start the bariatric program at my work, and that's been great to work with those patients. They're surprised to hear their nurse say that she was a sleeve patient just 3 months ago, and I feel like I'm able to offer them a little bit of encouragement going in. They exhibit a wide range of emotions, just like we probably all did going in for your rebirth day on your weight loss surgery day. And it's good to just be able to reassure them. Some of them seem like they're unsure if it's a good decision, and you know, me, of course, I just tell them it's the best thing I've ever done for myself, just to follow the rules, and they'll get where they want to go. So that's been nice to get to share that experience with those patients. I had a situation this week where I ate emotionally, but it was different than before. One of the kids had me a little upset, and I went for a little tiny fun-sized Three Musketeers bar I had stuck away for hard times. But unlike before, where I would have just shoved it in my mouth and just not even thought about what I was doing, I actually realized, okay, I'm eating this because I'm upset right now. And I was like, I could put it down and walk away from it, but I'd really like to have it. And I know how many calories it is. I think it's only like 50 or 60 calories for one of those small ones that I have. And so I went ahead and had it, but I ate it very slowly, and I enjoyed every bite of it. So I just thought that was kind of interesting to compare to what I know my behavior would have been like and was like pre-op. So I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if anybody else has stories to share about how they can notice their eating changing. But I thought that was interesting, and it's good to know that I can at least recognize when I'm doing that and have the potential to be able to stop myself if I wanted to. But I just wanted to talk about a little bit about limitations versus possibilities today. And I know they say that perception equals reality, and so I think a lot of what holds us back, or at least for me, is how we think about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, or what we think our limitations are. And a lot of them are self-imposed limitations that we put on ourselves. Oh, you know, I can't do this or that because I'm too fat. And a lot of the social limitations I know I put on myself were things that I chose to do in order to insulate myself. But I just find my mindset changing so much now to where I'm saying yes I can when I think about things. Like that zip lining tour I mentioned last week. Of course, weight-wise, that would have been a physical limitation on why I wouldn't have been able to do that. But a lot of things are just mentally, I would look at them and think, oh, that's not for me, or I just would never, it would never enter into my consciousness, because I thought of myself as, oh, I'm the fat girl, oh, you know, I'm not able to do things. But I feel a mental shift starting to occur when I think about myself and what I'm able to do. So I just think it's really cool. I'm super thankful to be starting to think of myself differently, and it's a big switch, so it's not like a light switch. It's not going to happen overnight for sure, but I can definitely feel a change, and I'm starting to look more about what's possible and think less about what's impossible. So I'll leave you guys with this week. Just remember, this stuff works, but only if you do. Love you guys. Talk to you later.